Well, GM, G to the M. Great morning, my friends, DJs, Diamond Ham fam, Fortune Fuel crew, super soldiers, one percenters, pivoters, pioneers, pursuers, builders, brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas, mamas y papas, anyone I may have left out and anyone in between. Welcome back and welcome into the best way to start your day. It's time to get fired up at Forge and Fuel, baby. I am your humbled, honored, and clearly always hyped host, Colton Capp Swirl, and I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by, hang out with me and my guys, and dive down some motivational and inspirational rabbit holes unlike any other. Now, we got one hell of a show on tap for you here today. The 600th episode, baby! Woo! Come on, man. The big 600. Can you believe this? Time flies when you're having fun on this beautiful October the 30th, 2024. We hope you're ready to wake up like never before because we got more motivation, more inspiration, and more good vibrations coming right your way than you're going to know what to do with over the next hour to hour and a half, baby. Now, before we go any further, before we get this proverbial show train steaming on down the tracks of change, a couple of things I must humbly ask of each and every one of you. If you could take a quick second too, and you haven't already found it in your big hold heart to make happen this morning, maybe you could smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you're currently ingesting the Forge and Fuel podcast on. If you're watching on YouTube, you might as well hit that notification bell over there as well, so you never miss the start of a live show or any additional content dropping here on the channel. Also, now streaming on Rumble. That's right, my friends. Forge and Fuel is now live on Rumble. If you are a fan of Rumble over there, you can follow us at the Diamond Hand Media Group and give us a nice subscribe there. Maybe hit that like, even turn on your notifications over there if you're a bigger fan of Rumble over YouTube, as some of us are here on this side of the screen. Who's to say, who's to know? And if you're watching on X, hit that like, hit that repost. Hell, even give it a quote post. Let the people know over on the X timeline while you're tuned in live in prime time here to Forge and Fuel. And let's get after it. Also, if you're listening to this show on your favorite podcast directory, like Apple, Spotify, or even Amazon Music, maybe you could give this show a follow or even a 5-star rating, because it certainly helps us continue to grow and flow over there on those platforms as well. And all of you beautiful humming beings who have already hit all those buttons, smash the hell out of them to help us get that algorithm going and flowing this morning. We can't thank you enough. And if you haven't already, and over the course of the next hour to hour and a half, you maybe laugh, maybe you cry, maybe you think, maybe you go, I ain't never thought of it that way before. Well, don't be a host, share the show, be a friend, tell a friend, let the people know, and we will proceed with this morning's flow. My friends, I've said we a few times. I've said us a few times. I've said fellas and boys a few times, and you only seen me live on screen. So, as this intro rolls along, there appears to be one final thing left to do, friends and family, and that is welcome on the man joining us now, who is live in prime time from parts unknown, the lead pro on the GACC Greens, making him the founder of the Grandpa Ape Country Club. He is a professional DJ with a wide-ranging musical catalog. Doesn't matter if you're 18 or 88 when he gets a couple of records on the decks and starts spinning them and swirl one them together. It's hard for you not to get out on a dance floor, making him a human iPod. He is a purveyor of positive vibes, a curator of high-level energy, a certified PLP pusher, the jet plane flying, McLaren driving, Rolex rocking, Jesus Peace dangling, president of St. Louis, Missouri. My man, your guy, checking in live in prime time, the one and only, with an emphasis on the one. He's DJ Swirl One. Great morning, Swirl One. Welcome to the 600th episode.
Oh.
How you doing?
Let's get ready to rumble. Over here, baby. They're gonna be looking at me like, "What the hell's going on?" And they'll be like,
FBI, open up.
I'm okay with it. Not worried about that. Hey, I'm ready for action. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm already ready for the day. I'm going to pop out looking nice and ready to go professional style. I got a meeting this afternoon. I got so much stuff going on today. However, man, there's only one way to start today. 600 episode. Oh, baby. I remember when we were like on 50, maybe 60, maybe when somebody come in and said, wow, 100. I can't believe you guys made it to 100. Believe it, bucko. We're going to keep going. We're not even close to done. And I see a lot more in our future. So I'm all about that. So let's keep it going. First off, my friends, water. Must hydrate. Have to hydrate. This, I know you guys act like it's like not that big a deal, but do you realize how big a deal water is to your life? It is massive. If you ingest just a little bit more every day, I promise you, you'll feel better. You won't feel so heavy. You won't have all that carbonation going through you. Nobody wants any of that caramelized stuff in there anyway. So there's that. Next up, make sure you have a nice cup of joe, because you might need to get a little bit of a pop to the senses when you're trying to wake up after that water, right? And also, if you wouldn't mind, and I did it yesterday, I actually sat in a bar restaurant, very nice establishment, met the owner, as a matter of fact, and I shared with the entire bar the Forge and Fuel podcast. That's correct. I made sure everybody there knew that I was shining so damn bright that, hey, I didn't even know what time of day it was. And the guy goes, well, why would somebody listen to you? And I said, well, why would somebody listen to Taylor Swift? And he goes, good point. I was like, exactly. So, hey, let's go ahead and just put it out there. We're going to keep bringing the vibes, whether you tune in or not. So could possibly be a couple people that I met last night that might be tuning in. One might be staying in this here hotel as well. So there's that. So I'm doing my duty. Hopefully you can do yours as well and send out this little link. Maybe you send a text message. Maybe you just go out there and start talking to people and go, hey, by the way, I'm in such a good mood today because I started off with these two crazy guys that were on this crazy podcast in the morning. It's called Forge and Fuel. Have you heard of it? Here, maybe you ought to check it out. I promise you it's going to make not your day better, but everyone's better that listens to it. So before I get too far off on my tangent, let's talk about how we're going to get this day started. And I think Capp has a little, I don't know, maybe a little LOL for us. I'm not sure. LOL. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and yield back, sip this coffee, and get ready for 600.
Who's to say? Who's to know, Swirl One? Great to see you this morning. Appreciate you joining us, bringing in good vibes as per usual. Shout out to all of you new humming beans, maybe tuning into the show live in primetime. You know, I know you were a little busy last night, Swirl, so you might not have saw it, but we got a pretty nice comment over there on the old X app. Our new friend Bobby, shout out to Bobby. I know you're tuning in live in primetime. He gave us an amazing post. First-time viewer yesterday, courtesy of the Phone Booth Pod Boys. He found out about us through them. And he said, boys, I don't know where you've been all my life. This is fucking electric. Your energy, your shit. This is what I'm talking about.
Surprise,
this is what I needed. You just hook, line, and sinkered another bro. I'm in for life. Let's fucking
Come on.
I said, come on, Bobby. Welcome to the Forge and Fuel crew, baby. Woo!
I'm
So
ready.
we got another one. Hey, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And, you know, it's just, before we laugh, one thing I said to Deez last night, I said, Deez, you know what's funny? When you start to operate and work with the mindset of I just want to make God happy and please my creator in everything I do, then he starts to work in your life and make things happen that make you happy.
You know what's funny, man? Last night I was having a conversation with that owner, and he was sitting there trying to figure me out. Because like, first thing he said is, hey, how are you? And what, of course, do I say? I'm amazing, man. Life is grand. I sit down.
Spectacular.
I'm like so excited. And I look over. I don't know he's the owner. I'm just talking to this guy. And I'm like, I'm in the right place. You guys are all laughing in here. I like it. You know, I start talking. Next thing you know, he's starting to figure out what I'm doing. So I start talking about this podcast. You know, he literally sits there and goes, so wait a minute. You get up at 7 a.m. and get online and just put this out to the world for free? I said, yeah, 100%. He goes, so you're giving all these good vibes out there without even trying? I said, no, it takes a little bit of effort, but it definitely is something we're doing every day. He's like, just letting it go. Just letting it go into the world. I said, yes, just wherever it heads. So he was really surprised by, and I don't think he listens to very many podcasts. I'll say he may not be very technologically advanced, but he's a super nice guy. Shout out that dude. He's cool as hell. So there you go.
Hey, shout out, man. We're just out here. We're making change. It don't matter if it's a doggone bar. It don't matter if it's a doggone gym. It don't matter if it's a doggone coffee shop. It don't matter if it's a doggone grocery store, the dollar store, or the doggone post office. We're out there shining so bright, they don't know what time of day it is when we're around. And if you're tuning into Forge and Fuel, boy, oh boy, there ain't no way you can frown. Because speaking of, we start a very specific way around here. You know, a great man named Jim Valvano, who I get a lot of inspiration from, said that in order to have a full day, you got to laugh, you got to cry, and you got to think. First thing on that list is do a little laugh. So that's like what we like to do around here. Start with a little chuckle, a little funny, ha-ha, if you will. One of them regular old knee slappers. And this morning, we got one. See, D sent me a shocking experience yesterday afternoon. And I had seen the clip and I said, wait, that's not the full clip. Let me go find the full clip. So I found the full clip. And this morning, my friends, we're going to the farm and we're going to learn some basic safety tips while you are around the aminals and the wide open range. Hit us with it, D's.
Things you're gonna need to know when you're on a farm. Couple of safety tips, like if you come to this fence over here.
This one.
Fuck! It's electric.
You're not supposed to touch it.
Don't touch it because it's electrified.
Why did you say that?
I was getting into it and you grabbed the fence. I pointed at the fence.
The fence can't be that bad.
It's
It didn't hurt.
electrocuted.
Keeps the cows
Oh,
in.
it's electric. He's just from New Zealand. He's a pussy.
No, it keeps the cows in.
You think I'm not tougher than a cow?
Yes.
Cowbung the baby.
What the fuck is that?
Pikachu's in that fence, bro. Fucking.
That's for bulls, actually. Bull fence.
Nah, I think I got a bad current. Let me try again.
Don't try again.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Bro, it's a fucking rush. Try it again, Jimmy. Try it again. It's a fucking
rush.
It's a fucking rush, eh?
I don't know.
Oh, yep.
I'm not sure.
This guy's a fucking retarded.
These guys are fucking retarded.
He's over there going, give me another hit. Give me another hit. Give me another hit.
It's a fucking rush. Try it again, won't you, God?
Try this. Another one.
Oh, so that's what Malka and Shaquana be doing on Saturday afternoons. Now we know. Oh, shit.
I love that. That's a fucking rush, bro. Try that. He keeps putting it out there like, this is good, man.
Ooh.
Bruh.
I ain't got one to get me to cry in a minute. Ooh, that was a good one. Oh, shit. He says he's just from New Zealand. He's a pussy. What do you think? I'm not tougher than a cow? Cowabunga, baby. Oh, shit.
That's funny right there. I don't care. That's funny. He kept going back to it. I was like, this guy's crazy.
Oh, it's a fucking rush. Oh,
it is.
Even Deezy's back there laughing his ass off. He hadn't seen the full clip. He about fell out of his chair, too. Woo! Hey, if you're feeling imbibed, you're feeling good. The laughs are going inside of you. Little Alvin and the Chipmunks around with us, too. Hey, man. We're feeling good. Episode 600 is officially underway, and now it's time to get going, to get flowing, to get those edges filed down, to get both sides of that sword nice and sharp so we can cut right through those obstacles and turn them into opportunities. It's time for your sharpening session. Wow. Alrighty, my friends. We begin this morning. If you didn't check the title of the show, your opening topic of the day is finding bravery through adversity. Finding bravery through adversity. And this morning, my friends, I wanted to bring back a poem that I read a long time ago. And shout out to our brother, Belong Fellow, and maybe his class. Maybe he's been putting us up on his projector in the morning, Swirl One. Who's to say, who's to know? Maybe the kids can see us now. Hi, class. If you're listening and watching, shout out to you and our great friend, Mr. Belong Fellow. You know, this right here is maybe one that you've heard of before. Maybe you heard it read in a movie entitled The Blind Side. Maybe you have heard it in another area. Maybe you've heard me read it before. I don't know, but there's a very specific reason why I'm bringing The Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Lord Tennyson to episode 600. And before I blab on too much, I'm just going to read it because I think it'll make a little bit more sense why I decided to bring it here today. Share a little perspective, and we'll see where this convo goes. This is The Charge of the Light Brigade. Half a league, half a league, half a league onward. All in the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade, charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew. Someone had blundered. But theirs not to make reply. Theirs not to reason why. Theirs but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Cannon to the right of them. Cannon to the left of them. Cannon in front of them. Volleyed and thundered. Stormed at with shot and shell, boldly they rode and well into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell. Rode the 600. Flashed all their sabers bare, flashed as they turned in air, sabering the gunners there, charging an army while all the world wondered. plunged in the battery's smoke. Right through the line they broke. Sasek and Russian reeled from the saber stroke, shattered and sundered. Then they rode back, but not the 600. Cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, cannon behind them volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, while horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell, all that was left of them, left of the 600. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made, all the world wondered, honored the charge they made. Honor the Light Brigade, the noble 600. The charge of the Light Brigade, the noble 600. Here we are at episode 600. And you know, I've been doing a lot of thinking as I read that last night. And if you don't know what half a league is about 3 miles. So half a league is about 1.5 miles. And when he says half a league, half a league, half a league onward, he is telling these men on horseback who are afraid, scared, anxious, fearful, that they have to ride 1.5 miles, staring down the enemy, the cannons right in front of them. You heard it in there. Cannons to the left, cannons to the right, cannons in front of them, volleyed and thundered, yet still into the valley of the shadow of death rode the 600. In the valley of the shadow of death. You know, some of you may not know, some of you may, but I have on my arm a rod and a staff tattooed for the 23rd Psalm. And most specifically 23 verse 9 that states, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." You know, a rod and a staff in olden Bible biblical times was used by the shepherds. The staff would be to draw in those sheep that had gone away from their path, that had gone a little bit too far away from the flock and needed to draw them back. That's the hook, right? And then this staff with a little bit thicker on the back. Maybe some sheep were dragging a little bit behind. Maybe they needed to kick them in the ass. Give them, come on, let's go. Give them a little something extra. That's the power of the rod and staff. We have a creator that can pull us back to the path. We can feel that. We know when we're straying from the path. That's him saying, come on, my sheep. Come on, my sheep. Come on back. Come on back. We got to walk through this valley of shadow of death together. And then sometimes we get to that valley of shadow of death and we're standing on the edge and he's got to say, come on, my sheep. Come on, my sheep. You got to trust me. I need you to get in that valley. I need you to go. And there's a Marine saying that says, I go boldly into the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear no evil, for I'm the baddest MFer in the valley. And that's the confidence I have every single day because of who I am, whose I am, and what team I know I'm on. I told you yesterday, I've drawn the line in the sand of good and evil. And if you stand on that side, you better stay on that side. You don't want this fight. I'm promising you this right here, this message, this meaning, everything they're talking about is all about finding bravery through adversity. There's a line in there that says, someone had blundered. Theirs not to make reply. Theirs not to reason why. Theirs but to do and die. It's not yours to question your path. It's not yours to question why the walls are closing in. It's not yours to question why you feel like you got to get out of this room. Your job is to go get in the hallway, to go do and maybe die. Maybe it is going to kill you, but the chances are that it's not. Chances are when you pursue your passions, it's not going to kill you. You're not going to have to literally ride into the valley of the shadow of death with cannons firing on every side of you and hopefully not lose your life in order to just be a success in this world. It's not that hard. But that's what it can feel like sometimes. It can feel like there's cannons all around us, and all we have to fight that cannon fire is a saber. Do you notice how in there, you might not have noticed it, they talked about sabers slashed and sundered. These men These 600 rode into the valley of the shadow of death, not with guns, with sabers to attack cannon fire, because they had to get close enough to be able to defeat the enemy. They couldn't do it from far away. Could you do that? And better yet, when your areas of life come up, can you push forward when the inevitable, you're outmatched, you're outgunned, you might not get this thing the way you wanted it to come out, you might get a little bit of damage? I'll leave you with these quotes. Courage is doing what you're afraid of. There is no courage if you're not scared. Eddie Rickenbacker said that. You can't be courageous, you can't be powerful without having the opposite. There must be some weakness, there must be some fear, there must be some anxiety and worry, but you must not play into those things. It's okay to be fearful, it's okay to be anxious, it's okay, you're a human being, but you're also a super soldier. And sometimes you just need to get out of the mindset and realize that all those things are good. And Bear Grylls said, being brave isn't the absence of fear. Being brave is having that fear and finding a way through it anyway. I think that man's seen a little bit of fear in his days. Who's to say, who's to know? So my friends, as you mount up today, as you get ready to charge onto the battlefield of life, as you see the cannons firing from the left and the right and the center, you realize maybe you're outmatched. Realize that you got 600 more men with you, 599. You got 599 more super soldiers that are right here at base camp, willing to fight this fight with you. People who are here every single day. Swirl just said it, we do this for free because of this exact reason right here. To let you know that when you get on the battlefield, you got a whole army behind you. You got people who believe the same things you do, going in the same direction you do, and making the same things happen that you're making happen. So have faith, believe. Don't be afraid of the valley of the shadow of death. It's where the best things happen. Who's to say, who's to know? DJ Swirl One. What do you think, my man?
Bro, I got some notes over here for sure. I'll tell you what, I love that. I've read or heard, I don't know if I've heard it or read it, but I have read or heard what you just wrote or read. God, I can't even speak. But with that, I do love that, because there is something in there that when you talk about the way these guys keep moving on and they talk about the cannons blaring and all that, that's one of the things that we go through every single day. Yeah, we may not have cannons proverbially like actually shooting at us, but when you've got the world literally coming down on you all the time, the biggest thing that you can do is understand that, you know what, this is your struggle or this is your success. It's all a mindset, right? The first thing I put right away is you have to understand the path is always there. Now, you might not be able to see it. The reason why you can't see it is because we're different than everybody else. Our path isn't like theirs. So our path is there. It just, somebody hasn't been on it for a long time. So it's not as worn down as you might see where everybody else goes. You might look over there and go, man, that looks really smooth over there. Let me go get on that path. Well, that's not your path. That's their path. That's the world's path. That is the bloodstream of the system that is actually walking down that path. Now, yours looks different because here's the thing. People don't travel down it all the time. As a matter of fact, it's a pretty solid path, but there's a few spots where they have to kind of weave in and out of different things, right? And here's the other thing about that. You were lied to, just so you understand. As a kid, as you're growing up, whoever's listening to it, you were lied to. There is no finish line. There's no such thing as a finish line. There's no peak either. So if you keep thinking, oh, I'm going to win the battle, oh, I'm going to win this war. No, you're not. You're not. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. All you're going to do is make it through. If you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to make it through and survive that. You'll be able to live to fight another day. That's the whole point of it all. It is not about the fact that, hey, I'm trying to win this. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be so successful. There is no end to success. Once you're a successful person, you realize that every single day you have to build on that success. It is literally something you got to pay for on a daily basis. You can't expect yourself to be successful tomorrow if you're not doing the things today that are going to keep that thing going, right? The 4 or 5 things, making sure you're reading, making sure you're putting your money in the right places, making sure that you're putting all that energy into those workouts or whatever it is that you're doing. That's what's going to keep that success coming. But here's the thing, that success can come as quickly as you got it. Why? Because it only takes a couple days. And just like we talked about before, negative is 7 times quicker inside the brain, as well as non-activity breaks down everything so much quicker. Just imagine, you know how they say, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. It's actually true. It really is. If you don't keep trying to do everything you're doing, you will lose track of it. There's no two ways about it. Also said this, I wrote this down. On the path, there's hard things. There's going to be hard things. That's the thing. That's why it's a tough path. You're going to go through and you're going to be like, wait a minute. The path ends here and it's like a 10-foot. How do people get across this? Man, right? Well, guess what? That's the part where you look around, start looking at some trees, and you realize there's a couple of trees that were cut down over in the corners. Like, what happened there? You don't see anything from, but you know what happened? People cut those trees. They built themselves a bridge and they went across it. Now, did that bridge stay forever? No, because it was a one-use only bridge. That's what it was. Just enough to make it across. Sometimes that's all you have in a day. It's just enough to make it through today. Well, guess what? Make sure you do make it through today, because once you get to that other side and you see tomorrow and you get the opportunity to get those two gifts, right? The two eyes opening up, then guess what? You can go build another bridge. For right now, you got to cross that. You're there. Make yourself something that you can go ahead and eat. Make yourself a little place that you can go ahead and sleep, get some rest, and do it again tomorrow. That's the most important thing. Now, you know, Capp talked about when people, they know when they're not on the path. You know when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You can feel it in sometimes your energy. Sometimes you can feel it in how everybody's treating you. Sometimes you can feel it in how you treat other people. You're like, man, I'm just not myself today. Man, I didn't mean to snap on that person. Oh, man, I'm really in a bad mood. All of that is on you. You have to wake up every day and realize that if you're not in the right headspace, then maybe there's a way you can change it. Maybe it's this show. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's cutting out something that you're doing in the morning that is creating some kind of angst in your life or anxiety. Or maybe it's what you're ingesting, what you're turning on, those kind of things. That will all halt your success every single day. You will have a hard time staying focused, being on task, and doing the hard things if every day you're putting obstacles in your path the second you wake up. So you got to stop doing that. Here's the other thing too. A lot of people, and we talked about the bloodstream of society as you're walking down the path that is well beaten, that you can obviously see. It actually looks quite graveled, right? Because people walk on it so much. You know, the other day I was walking through the airport and I'm watching all these people and it was packed. I mean, packed. And it was just, I was like, man, I couldn't even get through. And I kept seeing people, you know, I always say, use your blinkers. Like when you're walking through, use your blinkers. If you're going to turn, like some people just walk right into them, you know, use your blinkers. I say all the time, right? Hey, help me out. You know, it's the same thing as you're driving. But here's the one thing I see is people taking that escalator. And I see it all the time. 2 escalators, 1 stair. Nobody on the stairs. It's time to start taking the stairs. I look at that and I start taking the stairs. You know why? Because we can all sit on that escalator and we can all sit there and look at our phones while we're doing that, right? But here's the difference. It takes a little bit more to get on that stair. It takes a little bit more. Just like right now, I'm on the 5th floor in this right here. Let me tell you something. I told you guys before, I am the person of the stairs. I found the stairwell here. I probably take the elevator probably twice the whole time I've been here. Everything else has been up the stair and down the stair. And why am I doing that? Because you know what? I know 5 floors that I'm doing. It's going to help me a little bit. It's going to make me feel better. I'm not afraid of doing hard things. I helped 2 people yesterday that were on there. I was sitting there waiting for the elevator. I was like, you know, I'll just wait. Waited like 10 minutes. The thing didn't show up. These 2 ladies show up and they're looking at me and I'm looking at them and I start talking to them because, you know, I'm just shining bright. And they're like, well, how long are we going to wait here? I said, I've been already sitting here for 10 minutes. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go to the stairs. You can come with me if you'd like to. And they both kind of looked and they're both wearing like high heels and all this stuff, right? And they're like, whatever, we'll go to the stairs. I'm like, all right, be careful. They're kind of steep, right? So the girl in front of me goes in front. She takes off, goes down the first one. And I'll be down and she did. And I was like, yo, she's like, you didn't see that, right? I was like, no, I didn't see a thing. I didn't see a thing. I didn't see nothing. I was like, nope, no cameras here. I went like that. And I kind of smiled. And I said, that's the one thing about the stairs. You got to be prepared to fall. I said, and she started laughing at me. She's like, hey, I hope you didn't see it. I said, no, I really didn't see that, which I saw the whole thing, but whatever. But the point was we made it down, right? On the way down the stairs, you might fall. You might slip. You might have a hard time getting down. But I promise you this, it is one of those things that will be so rewarding. You feel better. Plus, you don't waste as much time. And you sit in that elevator and you're sitting there, everybody's like a library. Nobody says a word, right? So take the stairs. Don't take the escalator. And lastly, and Capp's brought this up before, you know, when you're scared and you're worried and you're going through your day and maybe something has happened, maybe something's changed, maybe somebody's told you something you didn't expect, maybe you got some data you didn't like, right? You have to understand, sometimes that knot that you feel inside, sometimes that thing that you're feeling is not fear. Maybe it's excitement. Knowing that you're about to change, knowing that things are about to change, knowing that tomorrow your life will be different because of what's happening right now. It's not fear. Sometimes, people, oh, I'm so scared. I'm free. No, maybe it's excitement. Maybe it's your body getting ready to get you into that new energy, to get you into that new place, to get you wherever you're trying to go. So stop looking at it and saying, hey, I'm fearful, or man, I feel like I got anxiety. Maybe that's just excitement. And it's all perspective that changes what that feeling is, from fear to anxiety to excitement. So test that theory. Next time you feel like that, just go, hey, am I really scared of this, or am I just more excited about this? Am I prepared for the unknown? No, I'm just excited to see what it's going to be like. That's what this feels like, right? That's what that feeling is down inside in your stomach. So, hey, do the hard things. The path is always there. And don't take the escalator, please.
Bombs this morning from DJ Swirl One. Shout out to you, my guy. Time to start taking the stairs. Yeah, I triple starred that. I try to do that.
Nobody's ever on the stairs. Have you noticed?
Yeah, nobody's ever in there.
Go look. They're always empty, and people act like they just can't do it. I'm like, wait a minute. And you know what's funny? Every time I take the stairs, I beat the people on the escalator down every time.
Who's to say? Who's to know? Kind of seems to be a pretty classic thing that happens. I don't know. I like elevators every once in a while, because you did say, people are so weird in there and they don't like to talk. It's like a fucking funeral, bro. It's like people are dying in there, man. I love just being a goofball and hey, what the hell's going on in here, everybody? How we feeling? How we living? We good over there?
Best is when it's full. You're the last one that gets in and you're standing there and it's like, here's the wall. And you got like tons of people behind you. As soon as that door closes, you turn around, put your hands up and go, I bet you all are wondering why I gathered you here. I swear the whole place will start laughing. I promise, just do that next time. They'll look at you and they won't know what to say. And you just say it. I have arrived. They won't know what to do with you.
I am here. All right. This is what we're going to do, people. All right. Ready on 3 break. What the fuck is going on? Who's to say? Who's to know? Hey, man, you talked about using your blinkers, and I thought about this story. It had happened to me in Vegas. I got up early in the morning, one of them 7 a.m., 8 a.m. type of deals when ain't nobody up. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go walk a joint. I just feel like walking a joint. I just want to, get some sun rays, some fresh air. I'm going to go walk a joint. So I hit the strip. Man, I'm loving my life. I got a little music going. I mean, the world is my oyster right now. And there's a good amount of people. It's not crazy, but there's a good amount of people. And next thing I know, I'm behind a crackhead. And I mean, this dude is bebopping. He is, and you've seen him on the Vegas Strip. If you've been out there, they're a special breed out there.
Here we go again.
And that's what I was thinking as I'm behind him. And I'm like, fuck, okay, cool. It's cool. It's all good. No problem. Let me just stay. Hey, let me try and put this joint behind my back. I don't need a crackhead smelling the flowers and then all of a sudden losing his fucking mind. All right. So I keep walking, and all of a sudden, this man decides not to use his blinkers and slam on the emergency brake.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And just fucking hit a 360 on my ass and start walking the other way as fast as he can. Now, mind you, I'm 2 feet behind this guy. Like, we're walking like normal fucking people, and he just stops and turns and starts walking my way to where I had to go, shit, and move because he was coming my way so fast. When I did that, something in him snapped. I don't know what it was. No clue. He thought that I was ready to throw down. He thought I was ready to fight in that moment. But I didn't know it. I didn't know it because I was just getting out of the way of this fucking guy, right? I keep walking and super soldier. I see a shadow behind me rear up like this. And I just saw a fist go like this. And I was like, what the fuck? So I saw it come in this direction. I went, what the fuck? And I kind of ducked my head and I felt this fist go above my head. And I was like, what the fuck? And I turned around and it's this fucking crackhead. And I said, whoa, brother, hold on. You got a little too much dip on your chip. Chill out for a second. What the hell are you freaking out about? Hey, you just cut me off. You just did it. I said, well, you motherfucker, wait. You just turned around and almost ran into me. And now you're fucking out here looking crazy. That ain't my fucking fault. What the hell's wrong with you? And all of a sudden, man goes, is that a joy? I said, motherfucker, you just threw a punch at me and now you're worried about my joint? Don't you fucking get out of my damn face, you crazy son of a bitch. And he just looked at, okay, walked away. I don't know what the point of that story was, but I just had to say
Blinkers.
People don't use their fucking blinkers, man, and it almost got me attacked by a damn crackhead before. Use your fucking blinkers, man, so people don't have to be
Don't be rude.
Ducking around from your ass, man. It's not your world. The way people ain't just living in it. This is the world. We're all interconnected, okay? Maybe you be a little nicer to people walking in your path. Maybe that's my message of the day. Who's to say, who's to
The
know?
airport is full of that. You have no idea. I don't know how people don't understand. Like, this is not the place to congregate right here in the middle of the aisle. You know, literally, as you're walking down, all the different, gates are here and there, and you're walking. Everybody's trying to get into each side, but then you got somebody just standing there. Oh, hey, so we're going to California in about an hour, and you're all standing there. I'm like, you guys are totally doing this wrong. So use your blinkers on that. But I will say this, though. You go through that every single day in life. You have people out there all the time that are always in your way. They're not in any hurry to get anywhere. That's exactly right what they're doing. They're not in a hurry to be successful. They're not in a hurry to get their work done. Matter of fact, they're better off where they're standing right there because they're not at work or because they're not at the gym or because they're not listening to their spouse or whatever it is, right? They would rather be there. It's interesting. Last night, I was walking around, and I've been to a lot of different cities. You guys know I'm always in a different city, right? And one of the things that I like to do, and I have no problem with it, is going outside and trucking down the walls. I just wherever it is, I'll go down every single walk there is, and I'll go check it out. I don't care where I'm at. I'm just like bebopping down the road, right? And last night, so I'm standing there out there, and I'm walking, and I was going to go because I got some, get some supplies for the day, a little Celsius, a little couple, things that I can have throughout the day. So I had to spend all the money at the Marriott. And I'm on my way back, and looks like a whole, there's like I don't want to call it basically like a homeless culture, if you will, that is kind of walking with each other. There's a whole bunch of them, right? And they literally stay right across, right over here. And I heard them going off. I go, oh, who wants to get this? They were trying to fight and all this. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting. So I'm over there watching. And so I kind of leave it alone. So I'm like, all right, let's go to the corner store. So I go to the corner store. Guess who's all over there? All of those people are outside this corner store, and they're all hanging out. And I'm like, man, they're really hooding out here, like really doing this. So I walk in. They look at me, and I do look clean. I was looking clean. I didn't, it was night, so I didn't have my glasses on. I was just kind of cruising. They were like, hey, man, you got $1? I'm like, bro, nobody carries money anymore. Why are you going to the store? I said, same reason you're standing outside the store. And they kind of looked at me like, you know what I mean? Like, what? I walked in and got my things, came out. And I'm sitting there, and there was a lady that was walking by, and she was like, you could tell she was like guarding everything. And I'm like sitting there watching her. And I said, you all right? Do you need a little help? She goes, no, I'm good. I said, no, I'm not like them. I'm just telling you, I'm walking in the same direction. If you want somebody to walk with you, I'll walk with you. No strings attached. And she's like, no, I'm good. Hey, no problem. Go ahead. Have at it. So I just kind of smiled, and I kept walking. So I walked behind her because she tried to walk faster than me, right? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. But the point of that is this. Don't be afraid to walk in the streets. Don't be afraid of being out there with people. You're going to walk through hard places on your path, and there's going to be enemies. There's going to be things you don't know. There's going to be spiders that are bigger than what you're expecting. You know what? That spider is more scared of you than you are of them. I promise you it is. Those people out there that were looking at me, yeah, they might have been big and bad and all that. The one thing I kept thinking is, you don't know my life. You don't know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with me, right? Just like people walk up to Capp and they say something to Capp and that kind of thing happens. They don't know who they're dealing with, right? It's like seeing somebody with cauliflower ear. What? Better stop for a second. You know what I mean? Think about that one before you wreck yourself. But the point of all that is this. You've got a certain type of energy that you can bring anywhere you want. It can be aggressive. It can be positive. It can be very soothing. And you can do all those same things at one time. That's what confidence and power is. So when you walk around and nobody can mess with you because they know who you are, whose you are, and where you're going, you don't have to worry about it. Plus, when somebody else is looking a little scared, you can offer that hand and say, hey, let me help you get across the street like the blind guy the other day. Let me help this lady get down the road because she's a little worried about the people that are sitting out here. And I get it. That's why you got to be open to that. So look out for people who might have their hazard lights on instead of their blinkers.
The analogies are flowing over on that side of the screen this morning, kids. I don't even know what I'm here for. I just had to read the doggone poem and let him go. I mean, jeepers creepers. We'll talk about falling down the stairs. I mean, golly, jeez. Hey,
I felt bad for that lady. I'm not going to lie, but I was laughing, but I was totally being cool with it. I was like, I didn't see it.
Hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes you got to pay attention to those with hazard lights on. Doggone. Hey, if you ain't got a full page of notes right now, I don't know what's going on with you, man. Get out those notebooks. Get out those pens or pencils. Maybe that note app on your doggone phone. And if you're enjoying the convo right now, get in the live chat, whether you're on Rumble, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on X, slide on over there. And if you got a question, you got something burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul. Maybe we said something here in the first segment and you're like, whoa, I need to know more. Well, drop us a little question in that old comment section over there, and we'll pop it up on the screen for the third segment of the day, your answers from the Anvil. But we're going to get this proverbial showboat continuing to surf the waves of change, as DJ Swirl One has a little bit of a meeting this morning, so a little bit of hard out. So we want to keep this thing going and a flowing, not sitting around blabbing, blah, 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 banter, you know. So we get this show car drifting around the corners of change into the second segment of the day. It's time to do a little reacting, a little insight sharing, and say hello to some more high-level humming beings as we dive into your Reaction Refinery.
I gotta say, the cuts are working, bro.
It's starting to get on point.
I'm starting to get the timing right here.
Money, starting to find it. I'll tell you one time. I'm starting to find it right now. I'm telling you what, we're in the flow. This is hey, look, hey. Hell yeah. Shout out, Marco. Man, the chat's hot in there this morning. I tell you what, everybody's already going crazy. Marco's had to tell the ladies to calm down already once. I mean, it's a mess in the live chat this morning. All right. Y'all be careful.
I kind of like a little chaos in the chat.
I like a little chaos too. I'm just letting you know. Hey, see, settle down, ladies. I'm telling you what, he's already had to get them checked into business in there. I'm telling you what, it is crazy in the live chat this morning. Watch your ass if you decide to hop in there. But my friends, wait, pause.
Diddy. No Diddy.
No Diddy. No Diddy. Oh, shit. We got 4 clips on tap today, my friends.
He knew. He fucked up.
Slightly. Who's to say, who's to know? But we're going to say hello to a professor this morning. We're going to say hello to a motivational speaker, inspirational talker. We're going to watch a short clip from a movie, and then we're going to learn about a specific effect. So, my friends, let's lock in. The first one you're going to see and we're going to watch here is a message that I have shared before, back when it was those motivation minutes of the day. So, Professor Kim Emerson, you'll notice him. You'll see him right off the bat. Absolute legend. Here to tell us this morning on why it's important to be like a pencil.
Things you need to know before you go out into the world. You remember these things and you'll be the best person you can be. First, look at this pencil. We know that in order for it to become a useful pencil, that from time to time, again and again, it's going to have to go through a resharpening. Well, if this pencil could feel, we can imagine how painful that would be. But that's what it takes for it to be a useful pencil. Life is much the same. Painful experiences and challenges come to us all. But it is through these opportunities that we build character and we grow. Second is to keep in mind that we'll be able to correct many of the mistakes you make along the way, just like this eraser. So if we learn from our mistakes, they're not mistakes. They're lessons we can use to do better the next time around. And third, just like this pencil, every place where you are used, so to speak, you leave your mark. You're writing your own story. Think of stumbling blocks as stepping stones and never stop writing. And fourth, always remember, the most important part of you is what's inside.
Bro, that was great. I love that.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I've always liked pencils. And truly, I like artistry. I've always been an artist in my life. And, I've used everything from colored pencils to chalk to airbrushes, you name it. But pencils, there's something about actually putting a pencil to paper and drawing something out of it. It's amazing. And the best thing about it is there's certain pencils that they just write a certain way. They've got the lead in them that just really creates a really perfect mark, right? And I've always wanted my pencils to be super sharp. So I'm one of those people that I'll sharpen it till it's got you can actually poke yourself with it, right? But that's the thing about a pencil. It is only as good as the person that's using it. Just like the pencil itself is a tool. We talked about money being a tool. That's all important. I love what he said. No matter what you do, You're going to go through changes. You're going to get ground down a little bit. It's going to hurt a little bit. It's not going to feel good. But you got to understand on the other side of that, you're being refined. You're being sharpened. It's just like Forge and Fuel, right? This is, iron sharpens iron. That's exactly what we're doing inside of here, trying to make everybody better by sharpening them up on a daily basis. The point of that is this: we keep you sharp so that when it comes time to make your mark and you're going through the day, that comes out brilliant and it comes out real dark and it has a nice fine line on it and it looks exactly like it's meant to be there, right? That's the one thing about it. When you start creating something, and we've talked about the pictures and how they want to be something, and you create whatever that picture wants to be. I've talked about that before. The pencil itself is just a tool that creates it. It's the mindset that you have behind it that actually allows the pencil to be useful. So as we're dealing with our lives and we think about it on the way of the pencil, the lead inside is what matters. That's why we start here. What happens in here, what happens in here, what happens in here is all internal. That's something you got to do. Nobody can do that for you. Nobody's going to sharpen your pencil for you. Nobody's going to make sure that you have the eraser out there, because a lot of people don't even remember they got erasers. What they do is they just make marks all over the place and they never erase anything on there. So they carry all of that everywhere. And their page always looks like it's got doodles all over it. There's no uniformity to what they're doing. So it's important you understand the use of the tool is what makes you better. Your body is a tool. It is literally just a vessel for you to be able to walk through life. And if you know you're going to have it for the next 75 to 80 years, why wouldn't you make sure you sharpen it on a daily basis? Why wouldn't you make sure the lead that's inside that tool is absolutely pristine and perfect? So when you make your mark, everyone can see it.
Oh man, I tell you what, I was watching this video yesterday of it was Luke Belmar, and he was saying, he was talking to these two young cats. He was on their podcast. He was like, "So, would you cheat on your wife? If you had a wife, would you cheat on your wife?" He said, "No, fuck no, that's cheating. I wouldn't cheat. That's bullshit. No, I wouldn't do that." Okay, so why are you drinking that soda pop over there? He said, what do you mean? He said, "You're cheating on yourself right now." Said, "Oh, come on, man. That's just a little, whoa. Whoa. You're cheating on your covenant with yourself." And these boys' eyes got real big. And he said, "Why do you think I have this gallon jug of water?" He slapped the water down. He said, "Because of the covenant I've made with myself. There is no other option. I'm not going to cheat on myself. I'm not going to shortchange myself. I'm not going to disrespect this temple. Biblically, if you disrespect the temple, God will destroy it. So maybe if you're putting all this bullshit that the world wants you to do, your fast food, your cigarettes, your fucking this and that and the third, maybe you're not supposed to put the things of the world in your body. And maybe if you do and you fall into it, God destroys that temple. Maybe you should think about what you're doing, what you're putting into that temple. Maybe it shouldn't be a negotiable thing. Maybe it shouldn't be I can just eat this Reese's. Look at that Reese's. That's what it looks like on the inside of you. That plate full of fried food, that's what it looks like on the inside of you. Not beautiful and healthy and green and colorful and nutrient filled. It just looks like shit. So you're just putting shit into your body that gets turned into shit. You notice how it's the same fucking color? Oh, whoa, crazy, wild, right? And you talked about that resharpening, right? Sharpening session. Wow, it's like we come up with something. It's like we know what we're doing or something. Who's to say? Who's to know? We may not be able to reach through the screen and sharpen you up ourselves, but we can sure give you the doggone pencil sharpener. We can sure doggone give you the keys to help you put that fucker in there, crank it a couple times, say, "Ooh, this'll write again." Fuck yeah. And sometimes, I'm an artist too, Swirl One. Maybe you didn't even know that. I fancy myself. I love to draw. I haven't in a long time, and paint and all the good shit. And something you'll know, if you're an artist, and I learned this back in 5th grade, you can sharpen your pencil while you're using it. If you have an old school number 2 pencil, if you're on the side, and then you rotate on the other side. And as you're shading, you can literally sharpen your pencil. So as you're literally doing the work, You can learn what helps make you sharp.
Wait,
you're
what?
literally learning in the process. As you're using the tool, it's sharpening itself. Holy shiitake mushrooms. And we're just a tool. We are just that tool. We are just that pencil that rests in the creator's hands. And when he's ready to have us make our mark, he shoves us a little bit, and it's our job to go out into the world and click that lead out a little bit and go start making the marks. But we got to be careful. We got to be real careful, because sometimes you make a dark mark. Sometimes you say the wrong thing. Sometimes you fly off the handle, you cut somebody off in traffic, you look like a fucking retard in front of a lot of people that you didn't want to. You can't erase that mark. So be careful how deep and dark you make those marks, because you might even erase it and it's still in the background of the picture. It's still got that little light there, and somebody says, Cole's that guy that can't control his anger. Cole's that guy that every time I say that or give him feedback, he's going to get mad at me. I better not say anything. You know what? I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live in those dark marks. I want to be able to erase, leave my mark, and let people know that it's on the inside of me is what's important. Be like a pencil, baby. Come on. What a start to the second half of the show. Woo! We continue with this flow, and we go, baby, go into the second clip of the day, which this one right here, we might have to play it twice. Keep your ear holes open wide. And my friends, welcome in a young man who goes by the name of Asher Gray, A-S-H-R. You'll see it down there in the bottom. Asher Gray, hell of a name. One time for the one time. Ash is gray. I mean, that's what a name. Holy shit. Here to tell us the real problem in the world.
Yes. The faster you're moving, the more you're in fear. And the more you're in fear, the more you're thinking about yourself. And the more you're thinking about yourself, the less compassion and kindness you have for others. So if you want, there's no love in hurried and stressed. And the more that you're hurrying and the more that you're stressing, the more that you're missing the magic. There's nowhere to go. We got a meat car. You can go left, you can go right, you can go forward, you can go backwards. But your DNA is going to tap out between 80 and 120 years. And while you're here on Earth in this body, you got nowhere to go. Chill out and fucking love your moments.
Chill out and fucking love your moments. He said the faster you're going, the less you're focusing, and the more fearful you are. And the more fearful you are, the more you're focusing on you, and the less kindness and compassion you have for others. That's the problem with the world. People just fucking afraid and scared and so wrapped up in their own little world of, oh my God, Sally and Bobby and this and that, my job and funds and everything. And their fucking heads pop off their body and they can't figure shit out these days. It's that reason right there. Get out of your own fucking head. Get out of your own way. Slow down. You say, Cap, I can't slow down. The news cycle's so fast. Life's so fast. Everything's going so fast.
Stop the cap.
Is that not the system? Are you so concerned about being plugged into the matrix? You're that concerned about making sure those ones and zeros bounce in front of your face so you can make sure you're tapped in and you know everything. And oh my gosh, did you see what Kim Kardashian did? And oh my gosh, Tony Hinchcliffe said something about the Puerto Ricans. And I love Kamala and Trump. And oh my gosh, and I don't know what to do. And holy shit, look at all this news. And that's how most people live their fucking lives. Not me. I can handle that news because that news doesn't dictate me. I can read that news and say, okay, this is where life is. This is what I need to do. I'm not going to be dictated by other people, let other people speed me up. How do you slow down? Control your brain. Your brain doesn't control you.
We talked about it before, too. Sometimes you got to slow down and speed up, and smooth is fast. That's absolutely correct. So you have to do that. If you're going to be racing around, you got to understand you're not going to get the quickest lap time. Smooth is fast, right? Slow down to speed up. You have to hit that apex to the right if you're actually going to make that track work for you. That's the thing about it. Here's the other thing, too. We talked about being fearful because you're lost inside yourself. I had to give some people some news yesterday, and, I had to do it in a scene for everybody at one time, and so I put everybody on a screen. I had to give them some news. And in that, a few people obviously were feeling a certain type of way because of what's changing. And somebody literally said exactly what this guy said. I'm sorry, they're having a hard time visually, and you could tell emotionally. And They said, hey, I'm sorry. I'm just being selfish right now. I know I am. That's why I'm this way. Give me a second. I'll process and I'll get back to being strong again. But that's exactly what that means. They know that the reason why they're so emotional and things that are happening is because they are thinking selfishly. They're not thinking big picture. And you know what? Everything changes all the time. You're always going to get some bad. You're always going to get some bad vibes, some bad news, some bad things happen to you. But here's the thing. How you process those things is completely going to make your perspective good or bad on that. Everything happens to everybody. Trust when I tell you, we're all going to lose people. We're all going to have people get sick. We're all going to have a day where we don't have a lot of money. We're all going to have a day where we don't feel well. But the key is when those things happen, hey, understand that this is just a short thing like we talked about before. It'll go away as long as you got your mindset the right way. Stop being fearful of what you're dealing with. Start being excited and find a way to get through it. You know, what did Steve Harvey say? Hey, when you're walking through hell, don't stop, keep going, right? That's what you got to do sometimes. And hey, anytime you deal with anybody that's out there that is, like Capp said, losing their mind over something, it's good to kind of slow that person down, right? Slow them down. Hey, it's okay, man. What do you got on the mind? Maybe you can talk to them. If they'll give you some ideas of what's going on, help them compartmentalize exactly how they can break that down into the 4 or 5 things, maybe that's how you do it. All I'm saying is this: stop spreading yourself too thin, because that's what happens. People get too fired up, then they get too introspective, and then you start losing your mind because everything is happening to you, not around you.
If you're going through hell, keep on going, don't slow down. If you're scared, don't show it, you might get out, for the devil even knows you're there. Hey,
should have been a country singer, bro.
Dude, I know. I got the little twang in it.
And you got the name for it, bro.
Hey, Colton Soroka is a doggone country singer.
Cowboy Colt.
Hey, Cowboy Colt, doggone. Maybe I need to jack around and do a little stadium tour. Who's to say?
Sarsaparilla.
I could do a little something down there from Sarsaparilla. Who's to say? Who's to know? I got a little southern drawl. You don't know nothing about that southern drawl. You say,
stop it, bro. I know there's another lady out there that's using a lot of different accents. Let's not do that.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. I probably shouldn't do that. Who's to say? Who's to know? Hey, sometimes it just come out. Yeah, well, yeah, I'll try that. Yeah. We get into the third clip of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that very much. Thank you. It's fake news. It's nothing but fake news. This morning, my friends, we get into the third clip of the day, and we go to one of my favorite movies of all time. Lots of lessons you can pull from this movie. It features Marky Mark and one of my other favorite actors, John Goodman, baby. If you don't like you some John Goodman, little Big Lebowski action, I mean, come on, you crazy. And this morning, we'll go into their movie entitled The Gambler. If you haven't watched it, I highly suggest you do. And these two men are here to tell us about fuck you.
You'd be $500,000 up.
I've been up $2.5 million.
What do you got on you?
Nothing.
What'd you put away?
Nothing.
You get up $2.5 million. Any asshole in the world knows what to do. You get a house with a 25-year roof, an indestructible Jap economy shitbox. You put the rest into the system at 3 to 5% to pay your taxes, and that's your base. Get me? That's your fortress of fucking solitude. That puts you for the rest of your life at a level of fuck you. Somebody wants you to do something? Fuck you. Boss pisses you off? Fuck you. Own your house. Have a couple bucks in the bank. Don't drink. That's all I have to say to anybody at any social level.
The basic level of fuck you? Huh?
I've been
Who else
saying
is
that.
talking about that. Come on.
I've been saying that. I was probably 2 weeks ago when I said, hey, if you want some confidence, walk into the dealership with 50 grand in your pocket and an 800 credit score and watch how quickly you got confidence. You can buy anything you want in any store you go to. You want confidence? Go into the real estate broker and say, I got 200 grand right now and an 800 credit score. Watch how quickly they start to do anything for you. You know why? Because you're set up. That's the level of fuck you I'm talking about right there. That's the thing you got to do. You want to get yourself in a powerful situation, allow yourself the resources to be able to take care of tomorrow, but you got to take care of today first. None of that stuff he's talking about right there doesn't happen without compound interest, without doing, he's just talked about it, 2 to 5%. That is the compound interest I'm talking about. 2 to 5% don't do very much. Well, you know what? It's pretty amazing to see what 2 to 5% does on 7 figures per day. Just throwing that out there. Not that I know anything about that, but I see it. And when I look and I go, hey, 5%, oh, wow, that changed how much? Yes, it did. And that's what people don't understand. You got to make sure that you're putting all of your eggs in the right baskets, not one basket, in the right basket. You got to make sure that when you are ahead, that you know what, you do pull back a little bit so that way you can have it for tomorrow. It's not just about winning the game. It's about winning the game and making sure tomorrow when you play, you're stacking on that win, that you're getting better with that win, that things are happening. I love what John Goodman said right there. That's the level of fuck you that you're trying to achieve, is when nobody can tell you, you can't buy this, you can't do this, and that you're not good enough. You're going to be able to say, I could do that. I am that good enough, and I put in the work. So guess what? Fuck you.
Bruh. Fuck you freedom, fuck you passion, and fuck you happiness. That's the 3 things that I think everybody's trying to go over. And most people only get to the fuck you money. And they get the money, and then that's why you see people crying in the Lambo or whatever. They don't keep leveling up and going farther and just being able to say, I'm going to do what I want, when I want, go where I want, be who I want, say what I want, and nobody can fucking do anything about it. That's what we all want in this life. We all want to be able to go to a restaurant, order the whole fucking menu, and not worry what the bill looks like. We all want to be able to go to the dealership and buy the fucking car and drive off in the dream and be able to burn rubber all down the road while we know the damn thing's depreciating by the moment and we're still fine with it. That's the type of life we're trying to live. So if you know that, start making the moves now. Start cutting out the coffees now. Start setting the little things aside now. I made a post about fucking multifamily real estate in the Gateway last night. You think we're not talking about these things? You think that I'm not trying to attain these things so then I can yet again be another living, breathing example of how to do this shit and say, hey, if you guys want to do it too, here's the blueprint. Here's how it happens. I struggled, battled, toiled, tealed, fell flat on my fucking face about 20 times. Here's the blueprint so you don't have to do that exact same thing. That's what we're doing around here, man. And if you're not in the mindset of, let me get, like he said it, an indestructible Jackbox car. For fucking sakes, get yourself a Toyota Camry and fucking, you don't need it. Golly, look at what he's got. Get your fucking house, get you a nice little thing, put a little to the side, 3 to 5%, cover your taxes, little extra investment. Maybe you have a good year, you got 10%, and now you can buy you another piece of fucking real estate. You can do something else, and now you're generationally wealthy, and you've broken out of the matrix, and you're like, oh my gosh, how is this so easy? Well, it is that easy. You just gotta want to do it. But most people just stay plugged the fuck in, say yes, boss, yes, massa, show up every fucking day from 9 to 5, punching the clock for somebody else just so they can go buy their fucking coffee, pay for their bullshit lease on that BMW that they don't even really want, but they bought so they can impress all their fucking friends, keep going to the bar every fucking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then wasting their whole life Monday through Friday so they can make that paycheck once again. No thanks. No thanks. I sat back about 4 years ago and saw my life going in that direction. Nope. Sorry, I'm going to have to leave this opportunity. I walked away from 6 figures a fucking year because I couldn't handle that shit. No thanks. I cannot. I cannot do it. I need to go in the opposite direction of the crowd. Who's to say, who's to know? I'm chasing fuck you. Final flip of the day. Oh,
here comes the money. Dollar bill, y'all.
Hey, that was funny. When he hit that, I just had a thing come across my thing and said, you've just been deposited cash in your Apple card.
Well, here comes the fucking money. What do you know about that?
Just as he said that, I was like, oh, all right.
And, it's on its way back down a little bit. But Bitcoin took the fuck off. If you guys ain't been paying attention to Bitcoin.
All-time high yesterday? I mean, who's to say?
Talking about financials, I mean, maybe you just start paying attention. Maybe it's going to be the biggest global reserve asset by 2050 with $3 billion market class. I don't know.
Real quickly, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Think about all the things that you attach your money to that have fees. Grubhub, ATMs, Ubers, all those kind of things. Stop spending on things that will fee you to death. I'm just telling you guys, if you look, if it's got an extra fee on there, don't go spend there anymore. You're literally throwing away your tools.
Damn, that's a hell of a thought for sure. And it's probably not a bad time to do some investing, kids. Who's to say, who's to know? Not like we got an election or anything coming up, but we get into the 4th clip of the day. And I don't know who this young man is. I couldn't find him. I was searching all over the internet. Maybe somebody in the comment section knows, or maybe one of the boys knows. But he's joining us here this morning to tell us about the bad apple effect.
ruin your life. There was actually a study that was done in 2006. It was called the bad apple effect, where they took groups of 5 people and randomly added a negative person to some of the group to see how it would affect the group while they were working on tasks. The groups that had one negative person did 40% worse on all of their tasks, and the quality of their work decreased by 25%. They also found that groups that had a negative person had 50% more conflicts and more disagreements, which led to less effective collaboration. The crazy part about it, though, these sessions were only like 30 to 60 minutes. Some of you have had negative people in your life your entire life, though. Imagine what they're doing to you mentally.
Bro, some of those people are you. Some of those people are you. Some of those people are you. You are. Oh my God, dude. I'm just telling you. If you aren't the shining light, then you're the negative person. I'm just throwing it out there. You have to understand that. That is so important. In 30 or 60 minutes, something can change that fast, right? That's the thing you got to understand. Even 2 minutes of negativity. That's why I told Capp the other day on the phone. I know he was kind of getting mad at me about it, but I said, I'm not speaking this. I'm not going to entertain this. Oh, but hey, it was a great Hey, I'm sure it was. But even 20 seconds of negativity in my head right now is what I don't need. It's what I don't want. It's what I won't take. I will not speak or give power to things that are negative. I'm done doing that. I'm not saying stupid shit, doing stupid shit, and I'm not thinking any stupid shit anymore. That's it. So to that point, be the person that's going to be encouraging. Be the person that's trying to help. Make sure that you're not the loudest person in the room, because you know when you're the loudest person in the room, you're not listening at all. So make sure you're paying attention. The biggest thing, and I said it the other day, Elon Musk, I never went to Harvard, but the people that work for me do. And this man's trying to get to Mars. You think he's doing it on his own? No, he's got people around him who are so smart. They know exactly what to do. And I promise you this, there ain't a negative person in that place, because you can't think negative when you've got your mind set on Mars.
Bruh. Oh, man. I love what he said there at the end. This is that whole point of those sessions were 3 to 6 minutes. And some people have been in your life for 30 to 60 years. Somebody been, think about the impacts they've made on your life. And you know who that person is. You know exactly who it is every single time. It's that person that you say, oh, he means well. Oh, see, she means well. Okay, keep saying that. They're just going to keep dragging you down the well. They're just going to keep putting you in a place where there ain't no water and it's just down in the depths of despair and agony. Do you want that shit? No, thanks. You know, and maybe that's a family member. Maybe that's a friend, an acquaintance, whoever it is. Cut them the fuck off. We had a whole thing going on in our family, and I won't share the whole thing. I don't want to put anybody on blast, but I kept telling my mom and GP over and over again, make the fucking cut. Stop being like this. Well, we got to show love and we got to be kind. No. It's not about that this time around. You're showing yourself love and doing the right thing by getting this person out of your life. They are a cancer. They create issues. Every single time they come around, it's fucking something. And how do you notice once they get out of your life, there's no problems. There's no fucking issues. There's no arguments. There's no bullshit. So maybe it's not you. Maybe it really is those people. And you need to be okay with making those cuts. Because I tell you what, if you're making excuses for people and say, oh, she means well. Yeah, when Jesus said turn the other cheek, he wasn't saying smack me on this one and then let me go ahead and you can just smack the fuck out of me on this one too. He was saying let them hit you, learn from that, then turn and get the fuck out of the situation. That's what turning the other cheek means. And so many people think you're supposed to be meek and meager and let somebody else slap the shit out of you again and just keep turning your fucking cheek. Keep beating the shit out of me. I love you. This is so great. This is awesome. Wow, this is so cool. This is what I'm supposed to do. Stop it. Stop letting that person slap you the fuck around like a doggone dead fish, for crying out loud. Just beating the shit out of you. Get off of the never-ending roller coaster, for crying out loud. High, low, high, low, high, low. Fuck me. Go ride your own roller coaster. I don't know. Tripping my triggers, man. I don't like to have no bad apples around. The motherfuckers know it, man. They know if anybody comes up in here and you have the audacity to try and pull some shit, some negativity, some toxicity, stupid shit, you're going to feel stupid, I promise you. Don't come up in my family trying to be like you are with everybody else. No. We're different around here. There ain't no judgment. There ain't no bullshit. There ain't none of it. None of it. And I ain't playing it for half a fucking second. I will revoke your access, give you your money back, and tell you to kick rocks. I don't need your fucking dollars. I don't need them. We do this for free. I don't fucking need them. It's all good. We'll make it without you, I promise. Don't come bringing that bad apple bullshit around our fam. Who's to say, who's to know? Wow! There we go. Little blackout, little rant one time for the one time. DZ happy back there. He likes when I go on some rants. Who's to say, who's to know? But there's your 4 clips of the day, my friends. Your reaction refinery is officially over. No mas. No more clips coming your way. But we do got the final segment of the day, and then we got to get DJ Swirl One out of here. So let's get it promptly rocking and a rolling. Your final segment of the day. Drop in your live questions. Dump in them. What the fuck was I saying? Drop in your live questions. Dump them in the live chat. There we go. That's where I was going. Who's to say, who's to know? Picked a hell of a career for not being able to speak English from time to time. But here we are, live in prime time. It is your Answers from the Anvil. Alrighty then, my friends. Let's dive right in. See what the people are saying. See what's going on over there in the live chat. As a reminder, you can get in the live chat on YouTube, Rumble, and or X, wherever you may be. You can dive in and we'll answer all your questions and see your perspectives, baby. DEEZYY. What do we got out there today, my guy? Open 24. GM family, another beautiful day. Wow, 600. Consistency is key. Let's fucking gack. Yes, sir. Every single day, baby. You know the vibe. Shout out to you, Open. Appreciate you being with us every step of the way. Anthony, GM, FNF peeps. Great morning to you, Anthony. Appreciate you being with us every step of the way, too. Mrs. Metal Crazy, great morning, fam. Happy Hump Day. Hope that you're having a spectacular day. Appreciate you, Mrs. Metal. Right back at you. Mama Capp, episode 600. What? Appreciate the heck out of you guys for keeping this train steaming down the track. Shout out, Mama Bear. We love you. Appreciate all your support. Shout out to you. Shout out, Mama Snow, Wable Snow, the fantastic Bella Rossi. Fantastic morning. We love you guys. We love you too. Hey, had a great conversation with Mama Snow last night. She me and Deez were on FaceTime. She started telling me about all the stuff she was loving from the show and things Swirl was saying and tripping her triggers and talking right to her. I said, well, doggone, Mama Snow, I appreciate you being a fan of the program. We appreciate the hell out of you. Mama Capp, loving the opening jam, already hyped. If you don't get hyped up from a little coffee with light cream and sugar, there just is not a pulse going on inside of you. Who's to say, who's to know? Who else we got out there joining us on the show? A little JK big time. GM, everyone. Crush the day, as always. Shout out to you, baby. Appreciate you, JK. Great morning, fam, says Grammy P. Have a marvelous day. Be kind and spread that PLP. Blessings to all. Shout out to you, Grammy. We love you. Appreciate you being here, as always, every step of the way through the last 600. Chris, I swole mother. Great morning. Have a spectacular hump day, says Chris. Right back at you, my guy. We appreciate you being here. Derek Snow, quick little question. See what we got. Great morning, Colton Swirl. When you can tell you're not, maybe backwards. When can you tell you're not operating at 100% on certain days? What are some things that help you still make the most out of that day and continue to move, give the most you can? Do you got any thoughts?
Oh, I do. Absolutely. I thought you were going to say.
Oh, give it to me. Oh, that's good.
Is he talking or mine? So here's what I would say on that. I always look at it like this. Here I am now, right? I don't ever look back on what happened. If I know that I'm not feeling great, you know what I do? I start moving. I tell myself, and you hear me say this all the time, I'm not lazy. I say that all the time, right? The other thing I do too is that check up from the neck up, man. How we feeling? I know some days I'm a little off, and that's the days I really ask myself, how am I feeling? Because what it does, it helps me ground myself to where I'm actually at physically and mentally, instead of worrying about the thing. Hey, how am I feeling? Before I start trying to take on this, how do I feel internally? Am I feeling okay? And as long as I'm feeling that way, and I can literally tell myself it's going to be fine, I'm going to handle this, I kind of move forward from it after that, or I'll do some push-ups to get some energy. Or if I'm tired, I'll rest. There's just certain things that you got to ask yourself, and your body will tell you, how am I feeling? I'm a little tired. Okay, maybe I ought to rest. Hey, you know, I'm feeling a little lethargic. Okay, maybe I ought to work out. Those kind of things happen. And if you're worried about something, just hit it right on the head. I promise you, once you start on that task and you're not lazy, it'll work itself out.
100%. Just continually tell myself, you're not tired, you're uninspired. You're not tired, you're just uninspired. And yeah, there's going to be some days. There's days when I wake up and I don't want to do this show. I don't want to get out of bed. I'm tired. I just swing my fucking legs over the edge of the bed, push them in the ground, and I get back to work. I don't allow those things to control me because I cannot get through a day if I wasn't operating at 100 and I let myself fall into that. I gave less effort than I know I can, and then I got to go stare myself in the mirror at the end of the day. I'm the one that I got to answer to, right? And I can't get to the end of the day and look at myself and see that I gave less than and maybe I missed the mark. Of course, we all miss the mark, but you know, I don't want to look back in the mirror and see, damn, I could have gave more. Damn, I could have been a little bit better. Maybe that's a lot of the time why we're not operating at 100%, because we're not giving our best effort. We're not drawing the bowstrings back and reaching our full potential and shooting that arrow as far as it possibly can go to go all the way back to Monday, right? So yeah, you're going to have off days. You're going to have that shit. But really, it just comes down to, do you want to play into it or do you not want to? Do you want to be a super soldier or do you want to stay in bed? Do you want to be a beast or do you want to be a bitch? The choice is yours. Thanks, Deez. Great perspective. Shout out to you. Jared Albright says, I take the stairs. Jarrett hates it. we got two opposite ends of the spectrum here on these two.
You on the bottom there, Jarrett.
Hey, we'll see you in the stairs, Jared. We'll meet Jarrett off of the elevator. Great morning, Mr. Live Dog. We appreciate you. Ted Logan finally made it. Couldn't miss 600. Hey, big love to you, my guy. We appreciate you being in here. Again, big love to everything you said on your show, and just shout out to Ted Logan, man. We appreciate the hell out of you and all them phone booth pod boys. Granny was right. Haste makes waste. Whoo! Smart lady. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out to you, Ted Logan. Appreciate you being at the show. What else we got? DEEZYY. Anybody good out there, my guy? Oh, Angel SD. Great morning. I have words for Rumble, and it ain't happy birthday. Froze twice, and I couldn't enter the chat. What type of bullshit is that?
Hey, I'm going to tell you, I had a hard time with Rumble when I was watching the Phone Booth podcast. I was struggling to watch it because of all the interruptions, and there's a lot of things about that I don't know.
Really?
Oh my God, I didn't like it at all. But I like the podcast. I don't like the interface whatsoever.
No shit, I didn't even notice that. Huh. Well, have two words for Rumble, and it ain't happy birthday. Froze twice and couldn't enter the chat. Well, these motherfuckers, we're going to have to do a little research, and we're going to have to do a little conversating and debating with the folks over there at Rumble. What a bunch of bullshit. Great morning to the Diamond Hand Media Group, Silverback Gorilla, Motion, a.k.a. Shane Harper. Great morning, Dog. Always great to see you live in the chat. Looks like that's all we got. It's like all the beautiful humming beings. Hey, shout out to all you OGs of the Forge and Fuel podcast. We appreciate the hell out of you. Getting that convo going and flowing in the chat all morning long. Can't thank you enough for being here and investing your time, man. You could have invested 1,000,001 other ways, and the fact that you did here, we are forever grateful. But it's time to wrap this bad boy up for the day. Time to get on out, put a bow on it, wrap it up, paper or plastic. DJ Swirl One. You got any final thoughts, reminders, perspectives, closing comments, anything in between for episode 600?
I actually do. Hey, I'm proud to be here for 600 episodes. This has not been easy. We've been doing this for many, many years. And I got to tell you, it is so rewarding to get up. Like Capp said, I truly don't worry about getting up and getting on the show. I love it. I actually feel bad when I can't be here because I'm on a tin can or something else has happened. So I don't feel good about that. But I do make up for it when I get on here. I bring all my energy to this space, and it really does help me to be able to start my day the right way. It really does help me set that tone so I can treat people great all day long. And hopefully it does the same for you. 600 episodes in the belt right now, and we're going to tack on another 600 of those as we keep going down this amazing thing we call life. So if you aren't getting fired up from this, maybe go back and listen to one of those 600 episodes we already had if today didn't do it for you. However, I felt like today was great, so I had a great time in here. And I'm going to move on to get a meeting done, to get my stuff done. And then I got some things to do for GAC this afternoon. And then I'm going to be able to come back here. I've got some things to do here. And then tomorrow I'll be back in the same exact spot. Yes, here. And then I'll have a tin can after all that tomorrow. So for now, my friends, I bid you adieu. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in to Forge and Fuel.
Shout out, Swirl One. We appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for bringing him good vibes, all them good perspectives and thoughts all morning long. The man was on fire, kids. Shout out to you. Safe travels to your next meeting. Yeah, you're driving this time. You ain't flying this time. Safe travels to you.
Just requested the car through the valet. So yeah.
Oh shit! Look at you. Get after it one time for the one time.
I mean, down. Let me tell you.
Damn, we were on point today. Son of a bitch. How about that? Shout out to you, Swirl One. Thanks for helping these people start their day the right way. Nobody else I'd rather start.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, unless you got any other plans, which I know you don't. So I'll just say, because you deserve it. As for all you beautiful human beings tuning in live in prime time to the show, shout out to each and every one of you. A few reminders before we officially get out of here for the day. If you want, you can join us in the Gateway, baby. If you want to become a full-time member of the Diamond Hand fam, you want to learn a little bit more. It doubles as not only our place to network and tap into that good mental, physical, and financial growth, but it also kind of doubles as our Patreon and a place for you to see behind the scenes and some different things that go on here at Forge and Fuel and get involved in the shows and kind of have your perspective. It's a little more of a decentralized feel, right, than this centralized power structure of what I say goes. You know, you kind of get a little bit of your own perspective and opinions, and everybody kind of has a little bit of thoughts that they can share of the directions of DHMG. So join today, start your 7-day free trial. We'll see you in there. If you're looking for the link to that or any other pertinent links, you can find them in this episode's description, either down in the description here on YouTube, Rumble, not on X. You won't find it there, but you can find it in our link trees on X or on Instagram. And you can also find it in the episode description on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon Music. Also, if you haven't already, we appreciate the hell out of you if you would subscribe to the show, subscribe to the channel. It only helps us continue to grow and catch a flow. Hit that like, turn on those notifications, leave us a comment, hit the repost, hit another like, leave us another comment, whatever you got to do, whatever platform you're on. We can't thank you enough for all your support, all your help, getting us to where we know we're going to go. Thanks for helping us grow and achieve and just become bigger, better, faster, stronger every single day. It's because of you guys that we get to show up and do this every single morning, and we can't thank you enough. So outside of that, no major breaking announcements, nothing crazy to get you guys up to date on. I'm sure there'll be some stuff over there in the Gateway, so keep your eyes peeled if you're an OG member. But for now, my friends, only a few more things that I must remind you of. Number one, even a 2-year-old can make an excuse. Number two, even a dead fish can go with the flow. And number three, being that this here show is a member of the Diamond Hand Media Group, I ask you keep in mind that DHMG, we don't only HOLD, we hold each other up. And right now is one hell of a time to flex those diamond hands. Shout out to each and every one of you flexing those diamond hands on a day in and day out, night in and night out basis. We appreciate you from the bottom of our heart. Thank you for investing your time here. You could have invested 1,000,001 other ways. And the fact that you decided to stop by, we are forever grateful. We'll continue to pay back that return on your investment by showing up each and every day on the consistent, persistent pursuit of our passions and being right by your side while you pursue yours, baby. As you go out into this world, remember that you are kind, you are smart, you are important, and you are loved. Go hold the door, have that conversation, share your smile with somebody who looks like they could use it. Shout out to each and every one of you who do that. Thank you for setting the change, the precedent that we want to see in this world, not only on YouTube or X or Rumble or any of them doggone podcasting platforms, but on this entire floating rock or flat plane, whatever you think it is. Who's to say, who's to know? But for now, my friends, for me, no. For the Mr. Producer, DEEZY, who you rarely even get to see, but there he is. Look at my guy. There he is. DEEZY live with us in the chat. The co-host with the mo-host, Swirl One, and your host, Colton Capp Swirl. I can't thank you enough. So much gratitude, so much joy, so much energy leaving the show today. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. More vibes, more inspiration, more motivation than you're going to know what to do with. But for now, go crush this Wednesday. Have a spectacular rest of it, unless you have any other plans. And as always, peace and love.